All right, we're gonna try this out. This is my living room right here, and this is the backdrop, and this is some of the equipment that I'm gonna use during the next, 20 to 30 minutes. So this is my experimentation with a session that I sometimes do on my own. It's a little bit of gymnastics work, a little bit of mobility, and a little bit of whatever I feel like doing. So this is kind of like you're in my personal space, so act appropriately. A couple things. I didn't turn on any music because I want to make sure that you can hear me speak. So I haven't tested this out very much. I've just tried to make the screen so that you can see me. Maybe I should sit right here so that my head's not cut off. So feel free to add your own background music. I don't know exactly how the session is going to go, but we'll see. This is something that you can do on Saturday, which is today probably, but actually I'm filming this on Friday evening. We have a couple of events going on Saturday, but I wanted to let you know that you don't actually have to do a workout of the day every single day. In fact, many of you have done 4 or 5 workouts in a row, and perhaps this is your day off. Maybe you'll decide to come on the hike and eat at Malibu Seafood afterwards tomorrow. You can join us for yoga on Sunday evening with Maria via Zoom. We're going to test that out and see what you guys think, and let's see what happens. So for the next, I'd say like 25 minutes, again, you might need a yoga mat. I have a towel or a blanket. I also brought, this is kind of going to be my foam roller, and I'm not going to roll out on it, but I'm going to prop myself up in a couple of different positions, and maybe I'll run around and grab a couple of other pieces of equipment if I think I need it. But what I'm going to do right now is go around and make sure that the phone is actually recording, because the last thing I want to do is spend this time and have you guys not to join in. Okay, so it's working. Let's do this. I want to do a little bit of warm up. I'm going to try and give you guys some scaling and modification options. But you guys know this as the Simon Shuffle. Yeah, I can tell you the Simon Shuffle story, but I know that some of you don't want to be jumping and bouncing right now. But if you should be jumping and bouncing, I want you to keep going. And then if you shouldn't, for any reason, be jumping, I want you to hold onto a wall or something and get in a set of 10 leg swings. We do these very frequently. Keep the belly tight, the chest up nice and tall. 10 on the right and then 10 on the left. And those of you that are bouncing and just kind of warming up a little bit might do this. So many of you are jumping and bouncing, doing what I call the Simon Shuffle. And those of you that are doing leg swings are probably finished, so you should do some leg swipes. Again, getting about 10 on the right and 10 on the left. And since we're doing the Simon Shuffle right now for about 2 minutes, the people swinging the legs need to continue swinging the legs. So now I'm going to go right, right, left, right, left, left. Just bouncing back and forth, and notice that my shoulders are relaxed. My hands are flopping, getting ready to do. Now we can get in. Remember, those are the double penguin taps. You don't have to slap your hands on your legs like that. Somebody said that they got like bruises or whatever. Anyway, moving on. So I got my heart rate up a little bit. What I want to do next is are some scales, right? So I'm just going to face the screen. Hips are going to stay even, and I'm going to lift my left foot as high as I can, pointing my toe, and then I'm going to put it right back down. And I'm going to go for 5 of these on my left, only lifting as high as I can before my quadricep tightens up too much, and then right back down. The idea is to take as much time as you can, rather than to go as fast as you can. Thinking about balancing on that leg of support. Bringing up, I'll show you what it looks like from the side. Pointing the toe and keeping the hips stable. Not leaning back, keeping the chest up nice and tall. And after you get about 5 of those, I want you to start bringing the leg back and then forward. Notice that I'm trying to keep my head and spine up tall and the legs straight. And I'm going to get 5 of these, 4 on each side. So normally I have you guys talking to me and saying things and I can respond back to you. But it's just me. So we'll all get used to it. Step it out just a bit. And then we'll go to the other side. Again, straight leg raise, point the toe, and just touch the right toe, tap it back to the ground. Back down, you're gonna get 5 of these. I'll move these off to the side. And I'm just doing a front scale here, lifting my leg up as high as I can before that. If you get a little cramp in your quadricep, then straighten it out, lower it back down, and then bring it back up. Don't push it too far to tighten up to cramp up the quadriceps. The opposite leg, the base of support, is stable. There's no bend in the knee. And it starts to become a little bit difficult, right? So that's the back scale, trying to keep these hips square rather than tilted. And the chest stays up nice and tall. Back, I'm going to get 5 more, including this small piece of a back scale. Belly is braced. Now, if you need to hold onto the wall, then hold onto the wall. You shouldn't be balancing, you shouldn't be losing your balance so much. But once you get your balance, try doing part of it or some of it. You could put 2 stools on the outsides here. Right? And I'm going to show you a full back scale now. Is leg moves back, and as soon as the hamstring starts to tighten up, you can fold over, you can hinge at the hips. Keeping the left hip down, don't let it open. And then right back, and I'm going to go front scale. Into, as soon as that's back, I'm going to hinge, fold at the waist, belly nice and tight, and then right back up. If you don't need the chairs, then don't use the chairs. Hands can be anywhere that help you balance. I think that's about 3. And honestly, you're keeping me honest because this is recording and I'm not gonna decide to like go check my email or start to make dinner in between this. See how I keep twisting my hip and I'm trying to keep that down. So that's 5 on that side. And it's kind of tough because that walking lunge workout, right? The glutes are still sore. So I'm going to do a set of 5 front and back scales right now. And I'm going to ask you about a couple of workouts that you did this week. The Turkish get-ups and kettlebell swings. The group of athletes that I've been communicating with, like the scores were good. It's funny that everyone sent me, I think almost everyone initially sent me the times. And I didn't care as much how long it took you. I just wanted the quality Turkish get-ups. And I wanted the kettlebell swings as unbroken as possible. And I know that your equipment is limited. So what I found difficult is I'm using a 40-pound dumbbell for things. And it was hard because I couldn't warm up with a 25. Like it's straight to the 40. So what I did were a couple of push press. I did some windmills with no weight. I tried some windmills with the 40. And that was a little bit difficult, but I still did it. And that's how I warmed up. So I like that kettlebell Turkish get-up workout. So speaking of that, let's go with a wide stance, hand on the outside. And let's get in a set of 5 Turkish get-ups. No, this is a windmill, 5 windmills. And I'm gonna hang out here. Typically we move through this, but many of you move through a lot of those in Friday's workout. And see, I start focusing on the movement and I can't talk at the same time. So one of the things I thought about was maybe I should do a movement on the video, right? And then hit pause and then let you do it on your own. That would have certainly made this an easier video to make, but it also would have given you a reason to stop doing the movement. So since you've started the video and we're like 8 minutes in or so into the movement, just stick with it for another 10 minutes. I think I have 2 more on this side. All right, and I feel like since we've done those walking lunges, my glutes are still a little bit sore and tight. So I'm just gonna step to warm up my hamstrings a little bit more and calves. And then I'm gonna do some things, some glute bridges to activate glutes, turn on hamstrings, and then I'm going to do some deep glute rotator stretches, like the piriformis. That was one of the stretches that was listed to do after the kettlebell swing, Turkish get-up workout. So I just want to create a little bit of heat, which is the yoga teacher's way of saying to sweat a little bit, I think, to warm up the muscles. For those of you with wrists that don't like push-up or plank or down dog position, you can always go to forearms and do the same kind of thing. Then I'm going to step forward and get some glute stretch. But since this position, pigeon, is not very good for me, notice how high my hip is off the ground. So I'm going to stay moving with this and just rotate through the glute, the outside of the leg, and a little bit of the trunk. So I'm going to spend a minute here moving through this deep rotator. Really more of dynamic range of motion than a stretch. So this has been kind of interesting, right? It's Friday, or actually Saturday. It's Friday night, Saturday. The gym has been closed since Monday night, so we haven't met at the gym formally. But it's been really good having people check in, knowing that you're doing the workouts, that you've got equipment at home. Again, for those of you that don't have equipment, you can still get in touch with me. There are still a few things, a couple kettlebells. I drummed up some old 10 and 15 pound and a 20 pound dumbbell. So if you need something different, let's try and get in touch. And that's a minute. Okay, now that's my good side. So I'm a lot tighter on my left. You can see by the amount of twisting that I have, that it takes here to get down to the ground. Right? So I need to work on this left side. So I'm going to spend a minute opening up the hip there. So do you think the kettlebell, dumbbell, or Turkish get-up workout could count as a heavy day? So notice that we haven't really done anything heavy since Monday. Monday was a squat, clean, and jerk or press. We did some heavy cleans, 2 push presses, and then the box jump. Seems like a year ago, but it was only Monday. So naturally, what either Thursday or Friday I would have programmed would have been something heavy, like some deadlifts or probably back squats. Sled pushes, something like that. So now I'm going to turn on some glutes and hamstrings. Just driving the heels to the floor, squeezing the glutes, pressing the hips up to the ceiling. And I'm just going to get 5 of these. Before, I'm not going to use that big one. I'm going to roll this blanket up and put it under my hips. And then just do some happy baby. I like to feel like I'm squatting on the ceiling. And I'll be here for like a minute and a half. Just pulling the feet down and in. Maybe at some point right now I'll drive the knees out. Just kind of playing with that stretch of opening up. Relaxing the low back. So we're here for another minute. So I faced the right direction, didn't I? Yep. I don't even know if I'm on the screen, but at least you can see my feet. So moving back to Thursday, the workout where those dumbbell push press. Again, like many of you that just have one dumbbell or a kettlebell and a dumbbell, the coaches and I are programming, we're writing things that can be done with a light dumbbell, but some of them probably would work better if the kettlebell was heavy. Or in other cases, we want kind of a medium weight, but if you're stuck like me with just the 40, and I'm actually not stuck with the 40. In solidarity, I'm going to try and use 40-pound dumbbell for everything, and the 24-kilogram kettlebell. Got it. So I'm there for about a minute and a half. Now I want to open up the hip flexor a bit before I do the deep glute stretch. So I'm opening up this right hip flexor, and I'm just kind of moving the left so I can get some range of motion out of my hip. Some people went for the interval trail run this morning. We were up at Bluffs Park, maintaining our distance from one another, doing a series of 8 roughly 100-meter, slightly uphill sprints on the trail. Okay, I'm going to switch sides. Pull that right one in, extend the left. I'm getting this left hip flexor stretch while I open up some of the, ooh, that was a little click. Open up the hip a little bit. So based on Friday, Thursday, Wednesday was sit-ups and walking lunges, and Tuesday was like a mini Murph. So we haven't squatted in a while. Guess what's going to come up on Monday? Yep, some squatting. Okay. And now in this next stretch, I'm going to start with this reclining ankle to knee on my left side because my left glute is much tighter than my right. And so I'm going to get in this figure 4 position and just push on my left knee. So I'm getting this deep stretch in my glute on the left side. Many ways to hold on to this, right? But the goal is getting that stretch in the same leg that's bent, So for me on this position, it's the left side. And I'm here for 1.5 minutes. Just trying to relax my breathing and keep that deep stretch in the left glute. So right, we did on Tuesday the air squat workout with 120 of those, 4 rounds of 30. And we haven't squatted, although we lunged on Wednesday, so squats I'm sure could be coming around for Monday. Another 30 seconds here. Don't think I haven't forgotten about those stools over there. We're gonna do just a bit of L-sits after we open up these glutes. And I'm just gonna get a little stretch because I feel like that's what I want. Some in the lower back. And then we'll switch over and do the same thing on the other side. So 1.5 minutes on this side. So Sunday 4 o'clock yoga, Sunday 4 p.m. Maria is going to teach a really good class. We're all looking forward to it. So you could download Zoom, or you could just click the button on the invite that you'll get on Saturday, or maybe you'll get it on Sunday. Maybe we'll send them out on Sunday. But basically, you just click the button and you're in. So some of you that haven't used Zoom before, you can do it on your phone, or you can do it on your laptop or desktop computer. But this I'm gonna upload it to YouTube, but you've already clicked on it on YouTube, so you made it. 20 more seconds here. Again, I'm just laying into this right knee to get the right glute to stretch. This side is much more limber. Okay, just like the other side, I will get a twist. And then I'm going to move this out. If you've got something soft, you can maybe do some of these rocks. If you brought a towel with you or a blanket, you can go there. So I'm up against this wall and I was going to do some handstands, but we'll save those for later. Some of you did them on Tuesday in the substitute workout for mini Murph. All right, I'm going to get my little benches. You could use chairs or yoga blocks, or some of you have parallettes. So what I'm going to do here is just get into the, I'm going to line it up like a parallel, right? So that what I'm putting my hands on are about shoulders width apart. And I'm going to push myself back and forward. You could do this with one leg in front. I should be keeping my shoulders pushed down so that they're active. And then I'm going to go for 5 of these. And after that, I'm just going to swing out for about 10 alternating right over left, left over right. So basically, your hands are pressing down through the yoga blocks or the chairs or the benches or the stools that you have, right? Drive the shoulders down and try and keep them there. So from here to there, and again, I'm gonna point my toes and bring my hips back and push forward. Belly tight, now. So a set of 5. Now I'm going to go with some L sits. You know, we warmed up with a little bit of some front and back scales. So I'm going to start with an H sit and then go to L and then relax. H sit, L sit, and relax. I'm going to do 3 more of those. Get braced, pull the hips back, knees straight out. So these are what, 10 or 15 seconds? No, probably 7 or 10 seconds. I'm going to do 2 more. That was not on purpose. And I'm going to do 1 more. Talk about building heat. Hips back. I'm just going to go knees to chest this time, or the lowercase h sit. And I'm done with that. So if you could hold that position the entire time, great. I aspire to you. If you can't, then just do more sets. So I'm just gonna get some right over left, left over right. And then some big, maybe 5 circles, reverse circles with the arms. And I'm going to place these so that I can put my knees on the pad and drop down to open up the shoulders. You know, we're almost done. So after I'm here for about 30 or 40 more seconds, I'm going to come up out of this stretch. Right, it's getting my lats. Those jump over the fence from Murph. You know, we had 36 people in attendance on Tuesday for Murph at Zuma. Social distancing, of course. And some people, when they jumped over the fence, jumped over the wall, were pressing, and their triceps really got nailed in terms of some soreness. Other people, the way I did it was to drive down with this like lat drive and then try and throw my feet up over the wall. And so I had really tight lats and obliques. So some things like that, you just have to get done any way you can get it done. I'm just gonna do a little lower back twist. Not for a stretch, but just because it feels good. And so there you go. No notes, no outline, just kind of a general idea that I knew I wanted to do a little bit of some scales and some L-sits. And then I segued into some hip flexor and piriformis and glute stuff because my glutes were so tight from the lunges. So if you sit down to do this every once in a while, maybe those of you that have been in a whole life challenge that have a 10-minute mobility requirement every day, or a goal I should say, we accidentally or incidentally just did 31 minutes. And really I was just going by what I felt like doing with a little bit of intention, knowing that I wanted some glutes and some scales and sits. So that's that. This can be enough for Saturday. If you want to do it Saturday morning, well, again, you already watched it to the end, so well done. If it's Saturday morning and you're doing this, then definitely meet us at 11 o'clock at Malibu Seafood on the beach side is where we'll park, and then we'll do the trail, the Sarah Juan Trail, and then we'll order food by way of our phones and pick it up at the restaurant and then walk across the beach. Those of you that are doing this on Saturday afternoon or evening, all right, join us tomorrow again for yoga. Maybe we'll have a meetup on Sunday as well. That's not yet planned. But yeah, thanks for watching to the end. The code is pink zebra. And that'll be the code to know that you watched all the way to the end. All right, thanks for joining.